In ScriptRunner, you can centralize a lot of your scripts into one single spot. Use case to where we're going to download a PowerShell script and then get it upload into ScriptRunner, and I'll show you how that all process works and how you can make that process work in your environment. I'm here in ScriptRunner's GitHub organization, and it has two repos here, the Action Packs and Extension Pack. Just to give an example, I'm going to clone the Action Pack repo to our local machine using a PowerShell script ran in ScriptRunner. So to do that, as I scroll down here, you can see that we have a few different repos. We're only going to be worried about Action Packs and the Extension Pack. So actually, we're going to use a script in the Extension Pack to actually do the git repo sync. All right, so to do that, let me go ahead and in Action Pack here, and I will grab this PowerShell script. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to script repo sync here. And then once I do that, then I'll come over here and it's going to be a git repo. So I will grab the git repo. And then I'll scroll down. You can see that this script here just has some various parameters that we can provide to it. Really, the parameters don't matter at this time. I'm just going to go ahead and just use this script as an example of how to run the script and centralize your scripts in ScriptRunner. All right. So scrolling back up here. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to clone this git repo to my machine, so then I can then pull out that script and use it. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll come over here to the repo, and I'll go ahead and clone this, download the zip file and clone it. Now that it's saved, I've saved the zip file to the machine that ScriptRunner is running on, and now you can see that I have an extension pack master folder. And when I go in here, you'll see that I have that invoke get parse checkout script. So knowing that, now that I have it downloaded, let me go over here to the ScriptRunner admin console, and then I'll go ahead and upload this script. So to do that, I will click on create, and then I click on select to select the script. I will go ahead and browse for it here. Once I found it, I will go ahead and just hit open to upload it. And now that it's uploaded into ScriptRunner, I'll just go ahead and click OK just to get it up into ScriptRunner. Now you see that it's loading, and now I just go ahead and click on reload here to make it show up. And there we go. Invoke get parse checkout.ps1 is there. So now I need to create an action to actually run that script. So to do that, I will go over here to actions, create, and then now you'll see a list of all of the scripts that we have available. I'll go ahead and scroll down here and find the invoke get parse checkout script that we just uploaded. I will navigate through these options here a little bit, but we're not going to change a lot. I just wanted to show you all of the different options that we currently have. So there's some properties we can set. The target, in this instance, we can run the script on various machines in our environment, but in this instance, I want to run the script directly on the ScriptRunner box. So I will go ahead and hit direct service execution. And I can change some PowerShell options. One thing that's really cool is you have a lot of options whenever you run this. These are all set by default. All these are set whenever the PowerShell script is run by any user. All right, continuing on here, here's where we can define parameter values. So if you're familiar with PowerShell with the default parameter values, you can set values that are set by default and then override them at the time of execution. However, in ScriptRunner, the concept is the same. You can actually assign parameter values outside of the PowerShell script itself, and they're actually in ScriptRunner. So here, I want to only make this script clone this action packs git repo. But right now, the way it's set cannot be changed. That script runtime is not selected. The users will be able to override this. However, I can just set this as mandatory if I want and only allow this script to clone this action pack git repo. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it alone. And scrolling down here, I can see all of the other parameters that are available. So ScriptRunner read the PowerShell script, parsed all that, read it all in, and then put it in a nice graphical format here so I can set all these different parameters. Now that I have everything set that I want, I'll go ahead and click OK to where I have the action created. Now you see that it shows up in my list. Now what I can do is I can just go in here and I can run it. Now that you see that we can provide parameter values at runtime. So we have all of the parameters in this individual script. Now that we have all the parameters available, since we're not going to change any, we've already set the default parameters, we can just go ahead and click OK, and then it's going to start running. Depending on what the script does will depend on how long this goes, so let's just see. All right, looks like it took about 20 seconds to clone that Git repo. Okay, so now let's see if it actually did what it was supposed to do. So now I will go back into my Explorer window here, and I will navigate to the path that the Git folder should be in. So it should be in Program Data, AppSphere, Script Manager, Git, and there it is, Action Packs. So notice that we have cloned that Git repo there by running the script, and we didn't actually even need to know anything about the script because the interface is all via the web interface with ScriptRunner. All right, go ahead and close that, and I'll go to the dashboard, and I'll show you the runtime. I'll show you some of the reports and things that comes up. All right, so ScriptRunner has this dashboard, and it has a timeline here, and you can see that I had a few failed runs. So the red bars are my failed runs, and the green bars are my successes. So notice that this latest one, which is the green bar here, it took around 20 seconds. You can see the starting from 0 all the way up to around 110, 120. That's how many seconds the scripts actually took to execute. But to dive in here, I can click on it, and then it will bring up a really nice report of various information, the values that were passed to the script, the resulting message, all of the output to the host console, and more. So it's a really good way to consolidate all of that information, especially if you are centralizing all of your scripts. You now have a way that you can have one place to where you know exactly what the script did, what parameter values were passed to it, and what the output was. All right, so going back here, and I also wanted to show you how the granular logging. So some people think like, well, this is great, but this isn't really granular logging. But what we can do is we can go over to ScriptRunner. I wanted to show you some of these logs here. We can go to the C Program Data, AppSphere, and the ScriptRunner service. And then here, we can go to the Engines folder. And then inside the Engines folder, there's a 0 here, which will be a 0 if you just have the default ScriptRunner set up. And then now you can see text files. And we go in here. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see that there's an enormous amount of data here. ScriptRunner provides some really granular logging data. So notice that it's even down to the script block level. So there's a few of those lines there that says at script block. So it's actually at the script block logging level, which is pretty cool. All right, so then there's another spot I want to show you. If we go to the AppSphere ScriptRunner service and then go to the logs folder, now you can see lots and lots of logs. You see, I've been using ScriptRunner quite a bit here. And by going here, you'll see some similar logging information. It's not really pretty at this instance, but the prettiness is supposed to be in the report. But you can get really granular logging here of exactly what your scripts are doing, not only just this one script, but sticking with the theme of centralization here. Imagine that you're able to get all of this logging and all of this output in a single platform, a single area to where you can query. You can run whatever PowerShell script you want. Your entire team can run your PowerShell scripts and provide one place to know exactly when the script was run, how the script was run, and then finally what output the script provided. So that's it for centralization of our PowerShell activities with ScriptRunner. Thanks for watching.